Hi, my name's Randallin, and I've been keeping Dumerils Boas for over 10 years. I wanted to take a second and just go over some real quick care guides and how I keep Dumerils Boas. They are a pretty hardy, easy species. There's no one right way to keep them or any reptile. As long as you meet a few parameters, they'll do just fine. And we're going to talk about those parameters and a little bit about feeding problems and availability in the hobby. So I produced my first litter in 2017. This is a baby I've produced since then. This is a female. She's a couple years old now. And when they start out, they're about the size of your hand. And when they're adults, they're about 7, maybe 8 feet. I got a big girl here who's an easy 7. This is a 6-foot cage, and she can stretch out and then some across the whole cage. So I will get her out in a second, and then we'll just keep talking about Dumerils. Let's put her away, and we're gonna try to get her out. But now she's looking all kinds of defensive. I know. So, caging. Let's start there real quick. Adults are gonna need something big. Oh gosh, this is a 6-foot cage for a female. Here she is. She's not very happy here. Oh, here we go. I keep my males in 4 foot by, they're like 4 foot by 2 foot. I think one's 4 foot by 3 foot. Babies, definitely keep them in something very small and very cluttered. As you can see, I give all them cocoa chips because they're called Dumerils ground boas. They like to bury themselves in the ground. I don't give them a lot of height because they don't really use it. They prefer to go under things, not over things. She's not going to cooperate here. So this is about as big as they get. She is she's over 20 years old. That's a big girl. There we go. Temperature. Cooler end. So I give some of them under tank heaters. She's got a radiant heat panel, and I keep it at 83 hot end, 78 cool end. Let's try somebody else here. Nobody else wants to come out. Cool. Let's show you a cage. So real simple. It's like 83 over here, 78 over there. I give them stuff to hide in. Humidity, I don't really worry about it. So this cage is a mess because she was just making a mess and she just shed. Humidity, I keep my room at about 50%. And as you can see, don't really have an issue. If you live in a drier climate, just dump their water bowl every so often and get this nice and soaked. And then don't worry about the humidity much more. That's really about the only parameters you gotta meet. 83, warm end, 50% humidity, and you're good. So, feeding. Adults, once a month, maybe less. Babies, every 2 weeks, maybe less. I never revert to quail or anything like that when they're not eating, because not eating is a symptom of the problem. It's not the actual problem. The problem is usually husbandry. Let me get out another snake while I talk here. So if your snake is not eating, look at your husbandry. Look at your temperatures. Is the cage cluttered? Do they feel secure? Let's get this guy out really quick and keep talking. Especially when they're babies, if they don't feel secure, they're not going to eat. Don't try birds immediately. I do frozen thawed, mice or rats, and just make sure they're stress-free. Stop handling them if they're not eating. That's my #1 piece of advice. If they're stressed, they're not going to eat. Don't handle them. Leave them alone. But generally, Dumerils are really good eaters. So this is another adult male. He's really pretty. He's got a lot of red. You know, the camera doesn't pick up Dumerils colors very well. There are no morphs in the United States. There are some sneaking around Europe, but in the United States you're not going to find color morphs. There might be a few selectively line-bred animals out there, but good luck finding them. Generally, if you're looking for a Dumerils, they're around seasonally. Usually you're more likely to find new babies in fall, but they are getting harder to find, and their price went up during COVID and it hasn't gone back down. You'll still be shelling out a decent amount of money for our little babies now, even though back when I started you could hardly give Dumerils away. Gosh, I don't know what else to talk about. They're a really fun species, really easy species. I don't think I will have any available for a couple more years. My 20-year-old girl, she's retired now. Her daughters are all still growing up. They have a few more years to go. And, you know, maybe in the future, if you want to find out more about Dumerils, there are several Facebook groups. And I try to post info here and there because they are one of my favorite species. Alright, so I will talk to you guys later. And if you have questions, you know, follow me on social media, post in the comments. I try to respond to most everything. I know I suck at posting on YouTube, but I post on Instagram and Facebook an awful lot. And we got babies coming, like, in a week. Not Dumerils, though. No Dumerils, baby. Sorry, bud.